Have you ever bought one of these rosemary Christmas trees from the grocery store around the holidays and then it died a few weeks later? I've been there too. We are going to have the Gardenery Green Challenge this week. We're going to see if we can keep these rosemary topiaries alive. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to take your rosemary topiary home and repot it to ensure success. So I grabbed these rosemary topiaries at Whole Foods this past week. If you missed the IGTV, you can check it out. And I realized as I bought them that there are actually 4 rosemaries inside of each container. So if you sneak in, and you want to do this when you buy a plant, if you sneak in and look down at the base of the plant, even though it looks just like one plant up here, it's actually 4. So what that means is that these plants are super root bound. And when you open them up, you can't even see any soil. All you can see is roots. So the first thing we've got to do is repot this to a bigger pot. So I went to Ace Hardware. You could go to any nursery, and I bought a 10-inch pot. So 10 inches, just about this size, a little bit bigger than a hat. And this is going to be a great size for your rosemary. So you can see, you can test it out and make sure that it's about twice as wide as the plant is. That's a great test for pot size. So we're going to take this off. And the next thing we're going to do is get some weed barrier cloth. So this is, it'll let water go through, but not soil. So I'm just going to cut this to size. Because you do have a hole in the bottom of your pot, you definitely want to make sure you do have that, especially for growing rosemary, because it does not like to stay wet. So we're going to take this weed barrier cloth, put it down at the bottom of the pot, just like that. And now we are ready to repot this rosemary. So I have some gloves here. These are my favorite bamboo gardener gloves, and they last. They're just awesome. So I have also some fresh compost. So I'm going to take some fresh compost and put this down around the base of the plant. Now I know so many people have container potting soil recipes, but honestly, I just don't think you can go wrong with compost. You could add a little bit of sand here if you want to. So I've filled it up about halfway, and I'm going to test that out with my pot. So put it here. And I'm getting pretty close to being at the right height. So generally you want to plant your plant in a pot at the neck. So I call this the neck of the plant. So you wouldn't want to go higher than that. So generally we want the neck to hit right about the top of the pot. So I'm going to add a little bit more compost to make sure I'm getting pretty close, because I know what I'm going to do is actually lower the pot down, the plant down, by starting to tear apart these roots. So we're almost ready to do that. So I filled this up almost more than halfway with compost. And now we are going to do some surgery. So this is kind of scary, but what we're going to do is tear apart these roots a little bit, because these guys are so tightly wound that they're not going to be able to grow for us. The plant isn't right now able to absorb nutrients or water or air. And those are some key things that the plant needs to live. So this is going to look like you're tearing the plant apart, but what you're really doing is giving it a chance to make it. So what I'm doing is I have my pruners here, and I'm literally cutting into the bottom of the roots about every few inches. So like I said, if you've never done this before, it's kind of scary to do, but it's necessary. So then I'm just going to dig in a little bit here in the center of the roots. Are you guys scared about what I'm doing here? Me too. Okay, they're still very, very tight. So what I am going to do is take my pruners and do a little bit more surgery. So here we go. Whew, this is taking forever. So I'm using my dipper here, and because I did some cuts, and then what I needed to do is just loosen the roots because they are so tightly bound. So I'm digging in here and just trying to get some root space. If you don't do this, your plant is almost for certain going to not make it because the roots just can't get what they need. And when they can't get what they need, your plant can't get what it needs. Here I go, doing some more. Whew. Okay, I think I did as much as I could. So as you can see, that was a ton of work. I should be having on a t-shirt right now. I wear a sweater. That was a mistake. I'm burning up. I think I broke a sweat. I got my cardio, but I did loosen the root system. So I don't know if you saw that, but that was crazy. In fact, I lost a good bit of roots, but it's okay. The plant's going to make it, and now it has a much better chance of surviving because these roots, you see the ends? You need the ends of those roots to be free so that they can absorb nutrients and water and air. So now I'm going to put this in the pot. Catch my breath. Guys, that was so much more work than I anticipated. So I hope that it's a little bit easier for you. All right, so what I'm going to do is put compost around the bottom of this plant, if I can do it without knocking it over. And that is the first step to keeping this rosemary plant alive. So this is our Gardenary Green Challenge for the week. And it's gonna be super fun. These will make super great gifts for the holidays. But nothing is more of a bummer than buying a plant and being excited about it and then killing it. So this tip is gonna ensure that your rosemary topiary stays alive. Not just indoors during the winter, but then as soon as it warms up wherever you live, you can plant this outdoors and you'll have rosemary literally for the rest of your life. So sign up for the Gardenary Green Challenge. Tell me in the comments below that you're gonna take the challenge, and you can find out more about this challenge at gardenary.com and get all the resources and the step-by-steps that you need. This rosemary topiary costs $12 at Whole Foods. And this pot cost about $8. So all in, this is about $20 plus the weed barrier cloth and the tools. So probably a gift under $25. Super fun thing to do. But first, before you gift this, don't gift this like this because you're gonna make your friend or family member feel like a plant killer. You wanna gift it like this, repotted and ready to grow. All right, take the Gardenary Green Challenge. Tell me in the comments that you're gonna do it. And I will see you later this week. I'm going to give you more tips on keeping this plant alive.